their businesses because they are trying to conserve the environment. So one of the things that that positive impact is going to drive will be reduced CO2 emission because like you find a lot of business these days, they keep talking about how they are reducing their carbon print. They try to reduce the number of cars they use for their official duties. They try to encourage their staff to walk more often, to use bicycles and all that. That is part of what driving sustainable economy is going to do for us. Then also it conserves our natural resources. It reduces business costs and then it raises awareness for future generation. And this is the part that I love most about all the advantages that I've read so far about sustainable economy, raising awareness for future generation. So that means we can do business in the present and then still have more opportunities for our generation, for children that have not even yet been born. So we could do business now and 10 generations from us or 20 generations from us will still continue doing business because we will still left a part of this world for them to live in and then do their. And then what happens if we're not sustainable? So the opposite of what we enjoy from the advantages of sustainable economy is just basically what was going to happen. You know, climate change is going to destroy the world further. Our future generation will have nothing left for them. They will have to be struggling with scraps to be able to survive because we've depleted our environmental conditions and resources, and then we've ended up aggravating the problems that we're having right now, like hunger and poverty. So if we don't promote sustainable economy, the reverse is going to happen. And that is just basically what we are driving with our SDG 8 goal. We're just looking at practices that will grow our society, our practices that will conserve our natural and financial resources, create long-term financial stability for our youth that have already been empowered. So what next? What actions should we take to ensure that we promote sustainability in Africa? Some of the actions we could take will be promoting sanitation, recycling infrastructures, driving e-waste collection and refurbishment, and then reducing food wastage and investing in physical infrastructures and human resources. And if we look at all these steps that we're taking to ensure that we drive sustainability in Africa, we can see that there are also solutions that could create more economic opportunities for our empowered youth in that space. So thank you very much. And I don't know if you have any questions for the two presentations that I've made so far.
Okay, thank you so much, Ibi Anako, for that wonderful presentation. So I don't know if we have any questions for her so that you can signify and then we'll take your questions quickly before we have the next speaker join us. Do you have any questions or we understood so far? Oh, thank you so much, Taisu. Just wishing SDGs, all the entire members, best in their workshop presentation. Thank you so much for that wish. Okay, so we'd move on. We'd move on to Oge Chukwu is here, right? And we've already read a fantastic bio. So Oge, if you're ready, please just take over the floor and start presenting. So I hope we had so many takeaways from AB's presentation because I definitely do. I definitely did, and I've noted them down, and I'll be sharing from that before we finally end this section. And okay, if you're here, please over to you for your presentation.
Hello, good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
All right. I think Abby has done justice to my presentation, but I'll just throw more light on some headings or some subheadings. So regarding youth empowerment, just like she said, there are so many ways that people can be empowered. People can be empowered through education, through financial empowerment, through skill acquisition, through giving them the voice to speak, giving them that opportunity or platform to create wealth. So, and when our society, the youth are not empowered, we see a very terrible society where there is an increase in crime rate, and we don't have economic sustainability in such kind of environment, because the youth forms the greater population of percentage of population in Africa. So when this greater percentage of population is not properly empowered, then we see that there will be low productivity, and our economy will not be sustainable. And when we look at sustainable development, what we are looking at is the kind of development that we are going to do today that's not going to stop future generations from also living their life or exploring their own environment. So when we don't have a sustainable economy, when we have a fluctuating economy, inflation always on the rise, we see that our economy is not going to be sustainable, because there is no hope for the future generation that this kind of economy can provide for them. So that's good development and youth empowerment. Very, very essential. And there are some factors that are limiting youth empowerment, such as access to finance, poor quality education. Some individuals, due to poverty, have the capacity or the money to go to school. And you see that this forms a very big problem in our society. And when we have such kind of situation, we see that our economy will not grow. And with that, we have to depend so much on importation, which is not good for our economy. A sustainable economy is an industrialized economy that is producing, not economy that is always importing. Because importation has a way of influencing our economy. It will destroy the local production, and it will not grow the GDP of our country as Africa, or our continent as Africa. So it's important that we look at this issue critically, because of it speaks to now. So we are supposed to be should be promoted, advocating that the government and other institutions should look into youth empowerment and sustainable economy. So most of the topics have been discussed by AB. I'm sorry, my network was very, very bad. She did justice to it. So maybe we can call on our third speaker to give us the rest of the presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you can hear me.
Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, Kende, before you quickly start, I'm going to introduce you as well, because we've done that for all of our speakers, and it'd be nice for people who are listening to know who is going to be speaking to us, right? So keep your questions ready. We'll take them at the end of Kende's section. So up next is Kende Alawi. She's a seasoned financial and budget analyst with more than 7 years of expertise, holding a certification as a financial modeling and valuation analyst. She possesses a deep commitment to lifelong learning and a strong desire to share knowledge with others. Her tech-savvy nature drives her to empower youth to overcome challenges and strive for personal development. So please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Kende to speak to us this afternoon. Kende, over to you.
All right, thank you, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you, Oge, and thank you, Ebi. So I'll share my slide now, then we can start. Can anyone see my slide? Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see. Yes, I can see your screen, kindly.
Okay. So we've said it all. AB has talked about economic sustainability. Oge has also shed more light on youth empowerment. I'll be doing more of a justification on the relationship between youth empowerment and economic sustainability. So let's look at the numbers, let's look at demographics. Over the years, the population of youth worldwide has been increasing, especially Africa. So Africa is now known as the continent with the youngest population worldwide. If you look at my screen, you can see that in 2015, according to Statista, youth aged 15 to 24 living in Africa were about 48 million, which accounted for like 19% of the global youth population. Fast forward to 2021, youth aged 17 years and younger amounted to about 650 million. However, individuals that were aged 65 years and older in the same year were only 48 million. And the median age on the continent is around 20 years old, and this is majorly due to high fertility rates. Now, according to the United Nations reports, it is projected that by 2030, the number of youth in Africa will have increased by 42%. And by 2050, youth will constitute about 18.6% of population in Central Africa, 18.5% in Eastern Africa, 18.8% in Western Africa, 15.6% in Southern Africa, and 13.9% in North Africa. Now, African youths are instrumental in economic development for so many reasons. Well, like I said before, we have a demographic advantage. Africa boasts the world's youngest population and has around 60% under the age of 25 years old. Now, innovation and creativity. African youths are natural innovators, they are creative thinkers. So this is also instrumental. Entrepreneurship. African youths are also increasingly taking a lead in entrepreneurship. And we're also tech savvy. You agree with me that with the advent of mobile phones and internet penetration, that's opened doors for digital innovation, online education, e-commerce, fintech, and so many. And so they're also social change agents. With Instagram, Twitter, so many youths actively engage in advocating for social and political change. Global connectivity. Africa's youths are also more globally connected than ever before. You can be in anywhere in Africa and then you relate to anywhere in the world. And African youths are also characterized by energy, ambition, willingness to take risks, and so many qualities that can drive economic development and sustainable goals. Now, investing in the youths can benefit the economic sustainability, economic development in so many ways. Firstly, when you invest in the youths, the empowered youths can solve current issues easily. They can tackle present issues in the economy. Economic growth. When you invest in the youths and they're given the tools and opportunities to innovate, they can solve problems. They can create new businesses and products, generate income. Social progress. Empowered youths can also solve societal problems. Knowledge transfer. Knowledge sharing can lead to quick solutions to existing challenges. So when the older generation transfer knowledge to the younger generation, it's like you're investing in the future. Now, resilience. Empowered youths are also better equipped to adapt to unexpected crises and challenges. Now, in the digital era, you agree with me that we're in the digital era. We can't talk about youth empowerment without mentioning this digital age. There are so many opportunities for youth empowerment in the digital age. For example, access to information and education. Technology grants access to education and knowledge resources. For example, YouTube provides opportunities to learn absolutely anything you want to learn, as well as generative AI tools like ChatGPT, and the likes. You can go on ChatGPT and learn anything you want to learn. It makes it easier than back then when there was no way to learn without going to a physical class or physical school to learn something. Then there are also online knowledge resources like Allison, Coursera, Udemy, among others. And the digital age as well, entrepreneurship is quite easier now. Online and social media platforms have changed the way people start businesses. Google has something called Grow with Google. It's a site that offers a lot of resources to boost your online presence, nurture your business growth, and so many things. Remote working as well is easier in digital age. Since the COVID-19 crisis, there was an increase in remote working, and so this has also helped to increase youth empowerment. So young people can work from anywhere. There are so many platforms for remote work, like Upwork, Fiverr. You might be aware of some of them and the likes. Social activism. Now, social media is something that has been on the increase in the past few years. So many youths are able to advocate for social change on social media, and technology also inspires innovation and digital product development. Now, what is the impact of youth empowerment in this digital age on economic sustainability? Job creation, increase in productivity, global connectivity, innovation ecosystem, digital. Now, the pointer to opportunities for youth empowerment, there are so many sectors that offer employment and entrepreneurial prospects based on their growth prospects. We have technology and digital innovation. You can decide to solve a problem in this sector. Agriculture, so many people are delving into agri-technology, agri-processing, farming, renewable energy, hospitality and tourism, healthcare. There are innovations in telemedicine, pharmaceuticals, health and wellness as well, manufacturing, financial services, and fintech. So people are going into solving problems in the financial services industry, like fintech. There are different startups in the fintech industry now. Education, we have the likes of there's some, if I remember the app, I will talk about it. There are so many apps now for children to learn, which is actually solving a problem for kids learning. People are going into music, fashion, and especially content creation. You can sit down your convenience and create content and make money. Extractive industries, transportation and logistics, delivery services, warehousing, transportation solutions. Then real estate as well, that's another sector. And lastly, environmental and green initiatives. Waste management, recycling is also something that is actually booming right now. Now, youth innovation to problem solving. This can be done with the cause and effect approach. So the first thing, before delving into any of the sectors I mentioned earlier, the first thing should be to identify a problem. Then you brainstorm the possible causes of the problem with a team or individuals that have no issue. You organize the causes of that problem. Then you create all the cause and effect. This is used to create a visual representation of the problem and the causes. Then these causes cascade down to sub-causes for the problem. You analyze these relationships by simply asking why. Why is this problem like this? Okay, what is the reason for this? Then you prioritize these causes based on the feasibility to address the problem, the causes. Then you develop solutions by brainstorming as well. Implement the solutions, you monitor and evaluate them, document the process to prevent recurrence. Now let's look at real-world examples of youth-led projects and businesses in various sectors across Africa. The unique thing about all the youth-led projects and businesses is innovation, and they are solving a problem. The key to and empowerment lies in the art of problem solving. As Albert Einstein once said, we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. Now let's look at Andela. Andela is a tech company in Nigeria. It identifies and develops software developers across Africa. offering them opportunity to work with global tech companies. Farm Crowd is also an agri-tech platform. Connects investors with small-scale farmers to agricultural projects and share the profits. We have B-Box as well, a renewable energy company. Life Bank solve the problem. Life Bank that uses technology to improve the distribution of blood and oxygen to hospitals, saving lives and emergencies. We have Andela, which is for various African countries. Flutterwave also solve the problem in fintech industry, provides seamless way for businesses to accept payments across Africa. Recycle Points, it's also a recycling enterprise. We want individuals for recycling waste materials. And lastly, we have South Africa. This is just to mention a few. This is a travel tech startup. We also have Travel Better, and there are so many. This is just an example of youth-led projects in various sectors across Africa. Inspiring examples of young African entrepreneurs making significant impact. These are several youth entrepreneurs that have really made significant impact. And if you look through a brief of each of them, you realize that they are actually solving a problem. They didn't just create businesses, they are solving one problem or the other. Like I mentioned earlier, Temi Giwa Tubosun, the founder of Life Bank, and just timely delivery of life-saving medical products. Ibrahima Ben Aziz, the founder of Poultry the his innovative poultry farming approach creates jobs and improves food security, empowers local communities. Michael Chilewe Jr., the owner of Lala Limited, the Malawian holding companies, is invest in different various sectors like manufacturing and the likes. So there are so many. This is just to mention a few. The M Copper Solar was founded by three they offer pay-as-you-go solar power systems to East Africa. This improves the living conditions and creates a sustainable business model. So just to mention a few, and they are also a problem through innovation. Now, what is the role of private institutions in empowerment and economic sustainability in Africa? You agree that there's a persistent challenge of high youth unemployment rate in Africa. However, government policy and public-private partnership, they are the critical drivers. It's commendable progress in youth empowerment and economic sustainability, but there is still more to be done. The strategies have been aimed at empowering young people and fostering economic sustainability through entrepreneurship funds, agricultural projects, digital skills training, innovation hubs, among others. Examples of these innovation hubs include Kenya's iHub, Nigeria's Tuni Elumelu Foundation. Then we also have a Nigeria Startups Portal, which aims to accelerate the growth of Africa's tech system by providing an opportunity for tech startups to meet investors list, and it also lists all available hubs so that when investors come into the country, they can easily meet startups and invest in their businesses, or even meet people for co-creation. These initiatives have led to reduce youth unemployment, and they've increased entrepreneurship. However, continuous collaboration remains vital for their further success. When we look at entrepreneurship and youth empowerment, we can't ignore funding, because access to funding remains a critical issue for entrepreneurs in Africa. And there are some websites that you can keep checking out for access to funding, like the Funds for NG website, Advanced Africa, Small Startup Africa. They will make you keep abreast of the funding opportunities. However, most of these opportunities are competitive, but there's some steps that you can follow to apply for funding, like research, preparing a business plan, eligibility criteria, apply, and then follow up. But most importantly, you ensure that you're solving the problem before you can impress an investor. Now, there are some prominent business grants. For at the moment, we have Boost Africa. which is the joint initiative with African Development Bank and the European Investment Bank. Then we also have some others, like I mentioned earlier, I mentioned Tony Middle Foundation, and we have African Development Fund. We have Techstars, that's for tech people, Techstars Sector Program. We have the MasterCard Foundation Africa Program. We have Seedstars, among others. Now, what are the key takeaways? All I've been saying, I've said African youth population is the largest globally, and they represent a significant demographic advantage. So we need to harness this demographic advantage. African youth possess qualities like innovation, creativity, entrepreneurship, tech savviness. So it makes them valuable contributors to sustainable development. Now, access to education, technology, and funding opportunities are very key for empowering African youth, and problem solving is also key to innovation. Government policies and public-private partnership (PPPs), over the years they've initiated positive change, but more needs to be done to address this argument. And opportunities for youth empowerment in this digital age are so many, like I mentioned earlier, like easy access to information, education, entrepreneurship, remote work, social activism. They all foster innovation and creativity. Now, what is there's a call to action? Everything we've been saying is to lead to a particular call to action. Like the change we need begins with you and I. For the urgency of addressing youth empowerment can't be overstated. If we empower the youth, Africa can harness demographic advantage, drive economic stability, and create a better future for the continent and its people. What government needs to do? Government needs to invest in education, allocate enough resources to improving education and vocational training systems that the youth acquire skills needed, and also promote entrepreneurship. There should be supportive policies and programs to encourage entrepreneurship. So next thing is, what should they do? They should invest in impact. Consider investing in business initiatives that prioritize both profits and positive social impact, and also support startups. Funding should be provided and mentorship should be provided to youth-led startups and enterprises. Now, what should the youth do? Youth should continuously advocate for change. The change begins with you, like I said earlier. They should be an agent of social change and political change. Like currently, I know that we've gotten to that stage whereby social media allows anybody to voice out their opinion. So continue to be an advocate for change. And that's the only way we can get to that stage of economic sustainability. And then youth should continuously embrace technology. You can't be a youth in the 21st century and not be tech savvy. You need to be tech savvy, leverage digital tools and platforms, enhance education, the job opportunities, and access to information, and also develop the habit of staying informed, continuously exploring available resources, funding opportunities, and platforms for personal and professional growth. I believe that with this, youth will be empowered. There are so many opportunities to be empowered. With the advent of remote working, content creation, those even creating skits is part of it. They are also contributing to youth empowerment and the likes. So I will stop my presentation here and give room for questions. If any questions, you can signify by raising your hand. Thank you. Yeah, any questions, please? Elizabeth, you can take over from here.
Okay, thank you so much, Kende, for this powerful presentation. Like, my book is filled up. Yes, I can see the reaction from the comments. Very insightful presentation. Please, if you have any question, this is the right time to ask it so that our speakers are here to answer your question. Feedback, if you want to give feedback, feedbacks are allowed as well. You can indicate then I'll let you open your mic and give us feedback. Oh, great. This is from Aliyah. She said, this is impressive. Thanks, Kende. This cute little, you gave us solutions. I like your slide too. Kende, wow. That's so impressive. Yeah. So you can also ask your question if you have any before we wrap it up. Okay, Taiwo says, good to see the problems, solutions, and pointers for youth and government. True, and that's a very fantastic thing about this particular presentation. It shed light on the problems and also gave us the solutions and how we can get answers to the problems and also sustain them. So thank you so much. Wow, so we have the feedbacks rolling in the numbers. Precious Opera says, well-detailed slides and up-to-date information. I appreciate you. Okay, thank you guys. So far, no one has any questions. Okay. Okay, so in absence of any other question, I'd like someone from SDG group to say something in the group, right? If you're in a group, you don't want to say something. Okay. No one is here. Okay, would you want to say something before I wrap it all up? Okay. So I believe everyone on this call is a youth. All right. And okay, so before I go ahead, I'm seeing, is it possible to have Candace's contact or the slide? Candace, are you open to sharing your slide with them? We can share that in the. Are you open to sharing your slide?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, we can share that in the WhatsApp. We can hear.
Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah.
All right, great. Okay, so we're all youth and we've seen everything we've talked about how sustainability can help us, not just now, but our entire economic growth. Okay, so the aim is not just to have a work, it's not just to get employed, it's also to sustain this, not just for us, but the future generations. So we've seen a lot of how the solutions, especially that was mentioned in this slide. I hope we take it to heart and work, collectively as people who have been enlightened on this to take a journey, of economic growth and sustainability to the next level. Okay. So once again, my name is Chibuzo Elizabeth Chichuke, and I want to thank you for joining this section. Thank you and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.